I'm doing it. It's recording.
Perfect. Okay. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. I know Monday in the Midwest was rough because we woke up to snow in April. It was not a good day for most of us because of that. Nobody wants snow in April. But we're going to make it better by all getting on. I'm so excited to do this with all of Cassie's team too. This is super fun. We had this idea to join together for the next 3 weeks and talk about objections. I know that Cassie, that your team did the IPA challenge maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago. We did ours in March. And when you are actively working your business, reaching out to people regularly, you are going to come up with objections. You're going to run into them, hands down. People are going to have things to say, and some of them may stop you dead in your tracks and go, I don't know how to respond. I'm not sure what to say. And so what we want to do is talk through it, like take out that big stress about objections. Objections are a good thing. We want people with opinions. We want people that take their health seriously, and we want people that think through their decisions. We don't want people that just follow along because people that object to things and people that question things are usually going to be your biggest supporters when these products start working. Because they took the time to think about it, to look into it. So objections are a good thing. They're not something that we need to be scared of. They're a real thing that's going to come up in our business. And we just need to learn how to approach them when they come up. So what I wanted to start with is start by talking about some common objections that we hear when it comes to the products. So when I think of objections, I've been doing this for over 2.5 years now. Some objections that I have heard throughout my business time is, it's too expensive. Anybody heard that one before? It's too expensive. Are these products even FDA approved? What happens when you stop taking these products? How long is it going to take for them to work? Why do I have to take so many different supplements? I can't swallow pills. Is there caffeine or sugar in those? What about polydextrose? Is that okay for me? That sounds like a man-made product. Or my favorite is, I can't remember to take them. So let's talk a little bit about these. The first thing that I want to say is take a look at the objection that maybe you're hearing the most. Oftentimes the objection that we hear the most is something that we have to kind of look in to see what our opinion of the products were when we were first approached with it. Because oftentimes that objection that we're hearing the most is something that we objected to ourselves and something that we were nervous about ourselves. Mine was cost. Cost is a big objection that I was scared to hear, and I felt like everybody was telling me that it was too expensive. And I really truly believe that the reason that that was coming up so often is because that was my opinion of the products when I first started. I was nervous about the cost. I was nervous, well, number one, that I could afford it. And I was nervous that any of my friends would want to spend that kind of money on it. When it comes to cost, the truth is people spend money on expensive things every single day. Okay, you can look through Facebook posts, you can think back to conversations that you've had with people. People spend money on expensive things, whether they can afford them or not. And that's a different budgeting story, but people spend money on expensive things all the time. What we have to get over is that our products are really not that expensive when you take into consideration everything that's included in them and everything that they can do for you and all the money that they can save people in medical bills, in prescriptions, in snacks, in sugary things. You also cannot put a value on your health, okay? Because most people, unfortunately, deal with it on the backside. They deal with it at get healthy so that you don't have the big bill at the doctor's office. And so the biggest thing there is start changing your own mindset, guys. A lot of these objections come back to mindset. Take a look each and every day at what what you believe about these products. Do you believe they're expensive? If you believe they're expensive, I guarantee you people are going to object that they're expensive. I promise you that will happen. If you tell yourself these products are too expensive, people can't afford them, that's what you're going to hear from your people. You will hear that. I know I did. If you think that people are going to be nervous about them being FDA approved, you're probably going to hear that from people. And the truth is, FDA does not approve any supplements or vitamins, any of them, not a single one. They don't. FDA does not do vitamins and supplements. So those prenatal vitamins that people are told to get by their doctor, those are not FDA approved. Okay? We know, we can talk to our scientists, we can see how things are produced. We know that ours are done safely, and that's what I love about this. But no supplements, no vitamins are FDA approved. I can't remember to take them. I'm going to talk a little bit about that one. When people are giving you objections, the biggest thing that you need to do is to recognize and acknowledge the objection that you're getting. So say, like, I love the feel, felt, found method. If you guys haven't heard of this, when Cassie posts this video, we'll tag some other common objection videos in there, some short little like 5-minute videos. But the feel, felt, found method is super, super neat. What you're doing is you're acknowledging what someone else is feeling. You're telling them that you felt that way at some point in time, or you can understand why they felt that way, and then you're telling them what you found. So Cassie, do you want to play with me on this one?
Of course.
Okay, so Cassie, you want to tell me one reason you wouldn't buy Plexus products, or one reason you're hesitant?
Oh man. One, the cost is just crazy. I can't afford anything. We're a paycheck to paycheck anyway. There's just no way that I can afford it. And then just to try to remember to take them, oh my goodness, I barely remember to take a shower most days. So why in the world would I need this?
Yes, Cassie, I totally know how you feel. I totally know how you feel. I used to feel that same way. I felt like there was no way I was going to be able to afford it. I was scared to death to tell my husband that I was going to spend $100 some on products that I didn't even know if they were going to work, because I wanted to lose weight. So I totally felt that way. But here's what I found. I found that by spending that $100 at one time, that it has literally changed my life. I am a better mom. I'm a better wife. I'm a better employee. I'm a better friend. I have my life back, and I cannot put a value on that. And for me, the way that I got out of paying all that money was to share it with a couple of friends. So for me, that was the way that worked. I know that also in looking back at our bills, I'm not snacking as much. I'm not needing energy drinks anymore every morning. I'm not stopping at Starbucks because I have to have a coffee. Don't get me wrong, I still go because I love the taste of coffee. But I found that I'm not spending nearly as much money on coffee. And then I know you said like you have a hard time remembering. I don't have that problem, but I know my mom was the same way. She hates taking pills. She can never remember to do it. But I just explained to my mom, if it was an antibiotic and you were sick, would you remember to take it? And my mom, she's like, well, yeah, I guess if I was sick, I would remember to take it. Well, I think that once you try these products, you're going to see just how great they are, and you're never going to want to forget to take them. I often recommend for my customers that they set a little reminder in their phone. Would you like me to reach out to you and send you little reminders? Do you think that's something that you could commit to, is trying it for 30 days and setting a reminder in your phone to see if you feel as different as I do? So you're acknowledging their concerns. That's the big thing. You have to acknowledge their concerns and hear them out there. If you don't do that, they're going to say, oh, well, she doesn't even care about what I said. Like, she doesn't think this is a problem. See ya. So acknowledge it, relate with them on some level, whether you've had that issue before or you know somebody, or you can say, I can understand how you feel that way. But here's what I think you'll find. or here's what I found. So use that feel, felt, found method. Change the words up a little bit. You don't have to use those exact words, make them your own, but acknowledge what people are telling you, relate with them, connect with them, and then come up with a solution, come up with a reason that they're going to want to go forward with it. And remember, if you don't know an answer, be real with people. Like if someone asks you about polydextrose and you don't have the slightest green bone in your body, and you're like, I don't even know what polydextrose is. Someone told me to take this stuff. I trusted my friend. I took it. I didn't read the ingredients. It's okay. Some people are ingredient readers and some aren't. But find the information out for them. Say, you know what? That's a good point. I'm not really sure on that answer, but I know that my friend Lorelei researches supplements like crazy. So I'm going to ask her about your concerns and get back with you on that. And at the end of the day, understand that if people say no to plexus, they're saying no to plexus. They're not saying no to you. And a lot of times it's not right now. I don't know that I've ever had someone say, I'm trying to think hard, that I will never take those products. I've had people say no, for sure. Tons of people have told me no. But I don't know that I've ever had someone say, don't ever reach out to me again, or I will never take those products. Most people say not right now. And so let's talk a little bit about the business side of things and some business objections that we commonly run into. I'm not a salesperson, right? I don't want to bug my friends. I don't know anybody. I need to try them first. I don't have the time to do network marketing. That one is like a dagger in my heart because I feel like they're telling me I have time. I don't have time. I make time. I don't have the money. Is this a pyramid scheme? Those are the common ones I've run into. I'm sure there's others out there that you've run into. So let's kind of talk through a few of those. Cassie, I'd love to hear, because I am a salesperson. So when people tell me that, I'm like, ugh, where do I go with this? Because I am a salesperson. So I'd love to hear, Cassie, what do you say when people tell you they're not a salesperson and they could never sell anything?
Well, for me, a lot of it is I start with, I kind of thought the same way. And then I realized, you know what? I'm actually sharing my story. I'm not selling to anybody. They can take my story and leave it. And that's exactly what we do with anything we do. We're sharing a good movie that we watch. We're sharing a good restaurant we went to. We're sharing a bad restaurant we went to. We're always sharing with people. And we don't have to be salesy in that way. And if you feel like that's salesy, I'm sorry, because I might have, responded to you with something that I liked, and I hope you didn't take it that way. But what I do is I share with people what I love, and this is something that I love, and that's really how I take it. Again, I try not to get like you said, if they don't want plexus, they don't want plexus. I try not to get too personal and let it hurt me, but sometimes it just takes a God moment for somebody to realize, like it's just got to be their timing for them to start seeing the way we start seeing things.
Yes. And I love that because often in objections, it's hard not to take it personally because you're so devoted to what you're doing and committed to what you're doing. So it is hard to not take it personally. But I love what you said about it has to be the right time. And that is key, guys. I've convinced people, because I do have a little bit of a salesy bone in me. I have convinced people to take these products that it wasn't their time. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So be okay with releasing it and coming back to it, because they are much more committed when it is the right time. So I love what you said about that, Cassie. Another common objection we get is, I don't want to bug my friends. I don't want to bug my family. Probably because we've all been bugged at some point in time, or we felt bugged. And looking back, I can say that, you know what, my friend was just trying to do something great for her family, and she found a great product that she was, passionate about. And so we've got to kind of switch our mindset there. You're not bugging your friends. What if you have something that could literally change their lives, whether that be product or business-wise? But my friends, if they were offering me something that if I committed a year to, I could have an extra $10,000 to $40,000 in my pocket at the end of the year, I wouldn't consider that bugging. And again, you have to look at your mindset. If you feel like you're bugging people, we probably have to work a little bit on our belief and just how passionate we are about this. Because guys, taxes, like I just finished my taxes. Someone can bug me if they're going to help me earn $25,000 in a year. Like, you're not bugging. You're offering something to them that most people lay at home stressed every night about money. So you're not bugging them. Let's change our mindset and look at it as, I'm offering hope to my friends. I'm offering hope to my family. Maybe it's not, maybe they don't see it yet, but that's what I'm doing. I'm not bugging them. Oh, this is a good one. I don't know anyone. I run into this all the time because I know everybody. I live in this small little town, and my parents have owned businesses in this small little town my whole life, and I know everybody. So people look at me and go, but I don't know people like you know people. I don't know anybody. And to that, I'm like, but do you know 3 people? Do you know 3 people that could benefit from these products? If you know 3 people that could benefit from these products or in this business, you have what it takes. What do you say to that, Cassie?
Well, you could even go further and just go on that. And those 3 people know 3 people. And so it can keep continuing. So don't just think that you only know 3 people. You're going to know a whole army soon. And that's the blessing in this, is we're a whole family. And you're going to realize you're going to have a lot of people behind you, more than you think you did in the beginning with just those 3. I think that usually when I get that approach, I always, sometimes they just can't think about people. They put up a wall already. Well, I just don't know anybody. Oh my goodness. I'm done. I only know like my mom. Okay. Well, so how were you in high school? Or, I might just try to start conversations, because, sometimes once you start conversating with somebody, things start triggering. You start getting those ideas, and people start remembering, you know what? I do have a few friends that, we have a neighborhood bunko. And I actually remember hearing one of them say that she had bad tummy issues. Like, some of that you just sometimes have to just kind of start talking to them about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's super great. Just kind of triggering, like, well, do you work out at a gym? Or do you go to church on Sunday? Are you in a Bible study? Little things like that. That's great to kind of help people realize who they do know. Because I guarantee they have more than one friend on Facebook.
Right.
So we know people, and it doesn't have to, like Cassie said, if you know 3 people, they know 3 people, they know 3 people. Let's see. I need to try it first. I hear that, like, I'm not ready to sell. I need to try it first. I need to have my own story. Mallory Easter has a great video on this. It's like a little 5-minute blurb. It's not long and long-winded, but it's great. She points out the fact that it's so much more genuine when someone gets to be a part of your journey from the beginning. When you try these products for 60 days and then all of a sudden go, oh my gosh, I've been trying these products and look at all this weight I've lost, and I've been doing it for 60 days and I never told you about it, and look at me, woohoo. I mean, it's still a great story, don't get me wrong, but how much more genuine is it if you say, look what I just got in the mail. I have no idea if these products are even going to work. My crazy friend Cassie told me to try them out, and I just couldn't say no to her. Let's see if they really work. And then someone can follow that whole journey with you, and they know you're going to be real because you have nothing invested at this point. You're not a gold ambassador, making hundreds of dollars a month. You have made nothing at this point. And so it's so much more genuine when people can follow you from the beginning. The next one is, I don't have time. Cassie, what do you tell people when they tell you they don't have time?
Well, I'm not in the same boat as you, but I'm kind of in the same boat. And it was hard to find sometimes because, we homeschool. I teach at a co-op. Wife, mom, trying to keep the house clean, things like that. I just go into the feel, felt, found method. And, I completely understand. I homeschool. I go to the gym. I have all these things. And I've realized that the times that I was on Facebook, I could actually be sharing this and helping people. And that replaced that time where I was just scrolling for hours or just not doing anything. And by me investing that time, that separation, I'm now helping people because of it. So things like that you don't realize, you're spending hours, and the difference of you getting paid and not.
Yes. And I work full time. I have 3 kids. Most people would look at my life and say, you don't have time for this. And often I'll say, you know what, I found by committing 6 hours a week to this network marketing, I have created a whole nother time freedom that I didn't know was possible. Mm-hmm. I'm able to cut back my hours at work. We're able to spend time together as a family on quick vacations and things like that. So while my life doesn't look like it has time, by sacrificing 5-6 hours a week, I have found a whole new level of time. And that was really just like 30 minutes a day. At the beginning, it was 30 minutes a day, and I still gave myself a day off. Or it was 45 minutes a day, an hour a day. Make it realistic. But I'll even ask people, like, do you think you could commit 30 minutes 5 days a week for a month, and we could see where that gets you?
Yep.
Or 30 minutes 4 times a week, and we'll see how that works. And if they say yes, then we go along with that and help them work through that. But most people have 30 minutes in their day.
And 30 minutes is realistic. Like, people can see that and be like, oh, 30 minutes, that's all you do? Like, yeah, that's where I started. Because it takes, you're starting a new job. It takes a while to get adjusted and all of that. So really, if you give me 30 minutes to an hour even, what do you feel like you can have? Just that small chunk helps more than you think.
Yes, exactly. I don't have the money. We kind of already went over this when we talked about the products. But I didn't have the money when I started this. I made room in my budget for it because I saw it's kind of like the time thing. Nobody ever has enough time and nobody ever has enough money. But it's about priorities. And so making them realize, like, what if you invested $34.95 or $150 if they get the welcome pack and with shipping and tax. So what if you invested $150 and in 3 months you were making $500 a month? Mm-hmm. That's realistic. You can get to silver in a week. You can get to silver in a day. And so pointing out, just kind of like, I didn't have the money either. I was scared to death of what my husband was going to say when he saw what I purchased. But now we are paying debt off. Now we are, and you just kind of point out, like, what if there's a 60-day money back guarantee, guys. If someone wants to jump in and take the risk as a business, there really isn't a risk. They've got that 60 days. So if after 60 days they've added no customer, no ambassador, and they've legit given it a try, you get their money back for them. And then there's no risk there. And my last, is this a pyramid scheme? Who's heard that one before? And I'll admit, I had a skewed view of what a pyramid scheme was. I thought for sure all network marketing and all direct sales were pyramid schemes. But a true pyramid scheme is where the person at the top is the only one making money and the people at the bottom can never get to that level. Pyramid schemes also usually involve zero product, and they are just people investing in things in the hopes to make money. We have products that work. People can pass their uplines. It happens. It's not uncommon for it to happen. This compensation plan is set up so that anybody can get to the top, and by you getting to the top, you're not necessarily bringing the person ahead of you to the top with you. And so it's not a pyramid scheme, and just have that stuff ready. Again, don't get defensive here. Anytime people question any of this, it's easy to get defensive, but know that people are really just exploring. When you get defensive, it looks like you're so invested in the company that you can't possibly see where they're coming from. And so just realize some people probably don't have the best of intentions, but most people do. Most people are not out to get you. They're just honestly questioning it. And so with the pyramid scheme, especially, make sure to take your guard down and just talk to people real. Like, I thought it was a pyramid scheme too. I thought that's how all direct sales and network marketing was. I didn't think anybody actually made any money with them. And just kind of talk that through with people. It's not a pyramid scheme. I've actually seen people outrank the person that invited them into the group. There's real products that actually work, and all that kind of stuff. So we're approaching our 30-minute time frame. A couple other things I want to wrap up with is just to kind of reiterate that if you're coming across the same objections over and over and over again, look inward there, guys. That could maybe be a little hard to hear, but look inward. A lot of it could be your worries, your fears about what people are going to say about these products in this business. And we got to get rid of that little head trash. If you haven't read What to Say When You Talk to Yourself and or The Secret Code of Success, both of those books kind of touch on that. And I would highly recommend reading those, because the words that we say in our head over and over and over again become our truths. So try to take that out of your mind. What do you got there, Cassie? Oh, yes. I think we're listening to that on our way to Arkansas this weekend.
It's so good.
I've heard it's good. And then the other thing is, when people are coming at you with objections, treat them like a statement. Just because people say that something is expensive, it doesn't mean that they're not going to buy it. Mm-hmm. I think sometimes we hear that, oh, it's expensive, or, oh, I don't have time for that, and we assume that means they're out. They still haven't told you no. So just treat it like a statement and keep moving with the conversation. Don't take that as a no and walk away. You need to actually hear them say no. Hear them say not right now. Go ahead, Cassie.
The other thing is be confident, because I noticed when I first started out, when I wasn't as confident with what I was saying and what I was speaking, it obviously came across, and then I never sealed the deal that way. The more confident I am, I'm like, do the feel, felt, found, and just be confident in your statement that you know this is going to be amazing for them, because you know it's going to be amazing for them. So the more confident you are, and the more, I can't think of the word. Just be real with them. Just be real. People.
Yeah. Agreed. And honestly, make sure you don't let that conversation end there. Mm-hmm. Like, just because someone says, oh, those seem really expensive, most of the time they're looking for you to change their mind. They came to you because they wanted to try them. They came to you because they saw value in your product and they were hopeful that this could work. And so when they say, oh, that seems really expensive, or, oh, I don't know if that's in the budget right now, they still didn't tell you no. So they're looking for you to almost convince them that it's worth it. You know, we've all spent too much money on a dress or a pair of jeans or a shirt we didn't need. People will buy things that are expensive. So don't get that out of your head. We probably have seen people tell what we think is no to us and then move on to a different product that probably costs the same, if not more. So make sure they tell you no, and just treat those objections like a statement, address them, and keep the conversation moving. So I'm going to open it up. Does anybody have questions about what we talked about tonight? Nothing.
I'm just kidding.
I know you guys are coming across objections because I know you're reaching out. And when you're reaching out to people, you're going to get objections. So take that as you're doing the right thing. There's books out there like Go for No, where you're literally trying to get those no's, because once they've said no, you can move on to the next person. So don't, like I said, try and take your heart a little bit out of that no. Be okay with people saying not right now, because it's going to happen, and just keep reaching out, guys. It goes in roller coasters. We're going to continue talking about objections over the next 3 weeks or next 2 weeks. And what we plan to do is interview different people, talk about objections that they come across. We want to interview different color personalities. So take a look at that. Cassie and I are going to put our heads together and have 2 more weeks of objection talk to really kind of work through this and give you guys the best ammunition that you need for your business. So if nobody has any questions, Cassie, I think we can go ahead and stop the recording. Thanks for jumping on, guys.